Get into this. When I was a little kid, I loved squirrels. Anybody like squirrels? Yeah, now I think they look like a rat with a bushy tail. But when I was a kid, I thought they were really cute. And one time I was out and I saw a little squirrel by a tree, and I got pretty close to this squirrel, and I thought, I'm just going to see how close I can get up to this squirrel. I got closer and closer, and evidently someone had kind of tamed the squirrel because I got close enough that I could actually reach out and pet the squirrel. So I was very carefully, as I approached, but I went up, and the little squirrel head was right there, and I put my hand on the back of the head, and I was actually able to pet the squirrel. I was like, whoa, this is the coolest squirrel ever. So I simply went, pet, pet, pet. Then I kind of went down like you would on the back of a dog, not a cat, because we don't like cats, but I went down like I would on the back of it, and I went stroke, stroke, stroke. And I did it again. Pet, 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 pet. Stroke, 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 stroke. The third time I went in, the little squirrel got grumpy. And for whatever reason, when I went in to go pet, 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 the squirrel turned on me, and God is my witness, it sounded like this. And that little demon-possessed monster set me up. He's like, you watch this little pet, pet, stroke, stroke. And he attacked me. My hand was like shredded up, and just, you wouldn't think a squirrel could hurt you. A squirrel can send you to the hospital in 2.5 seconds flat. The thing turned on me completely. What does this have to do with the talk? Some of you see where this is going. Boy meets girl. Girl likes boy. Pet, pet, pet. Stroke. Stroke, stroke. Pet, pet, pet. Stroke, stroke, stroke. If you're not careful, it'll go like this. And your next thing you know is things go crazy. The title of this talk is, Don't Pet the Squirrel. You can tweet it, you can Instagram it, you can hashtag it. Hashtag don't pet the squirrel. You won't forget that, I hope, and there will be some time where you're going to remember, oh yeah, I'm not supposed to pet the squirrel. I want to use that to walk into a very practical talk about purity and how we're going to treat people in our relationships, what we will do and what we don't do. And I want to start with God's word from 1 Corinthians chapter 6. We'll be in verses 12, 13, and then we'll read some more. Now, Paul was writing to the Corinthian church, and these people were messed up when it came to purity. They were doing things that were crazy and very wrong and very dangerous. So Paul was trying to help lead them to a higher standard. And he said this, he said, hey, I may have the right to do anything, you say. Then he told him, but not everything is beneficial. In other words, there's going to be some times you go, well, I can do this. It's not hurting anybody. Everybody else is doing it. I can do this. I can do this. And Paul's going to say, but not everything is good for you and for others and pleasing to God. I can do this, but it may not be beneficial. He said, I may say I have the right to do anything, but I will not be mastered by anything. Then in verse 13, he said, the body, however, is not meant for sexual immorality, but for the Lord, and the Lord for the body. What you're going to hear and you're going to see modeled a lot of times is like sex before marriage. Hey, it's no big